Hi, greetings everyone. Good evening on a Sunday evening. We'll start with the CB1 orientation lecture. Or CB1 states is the name of the paper is business finance, and it includes much of your account. It is from the papers from accounting background, and it includes much of your accounting related questions. Like they won't ask you to make a trial balance or make a balance sheet, but the questions would always be related from the accounting part of it. So we have studied about insurance companies, we have studied about pensions, health insurance, and all the other companies. Have you ever thought about it? Ki accounting perspective, so how do they report the profits and how each quarter on quarter basis they look at the revenues and everything. So we know an insurance company, it takes premiums monthly to annual basis, and kabhi jaake ek claim aata hai after some years. But how does it report a profit? ऐसे तो नहीं बोल सकते कि नहीं अभी तक क्लेम नहीं आया तो सिर्फ प्रॉफिट में ही चल रहा है, ऑल ऑफ अ सडन क्लेम आ गया तो लॉस आ गया. इट्स नॉट लाइक दैट ना कि पॉलिसी रन्स फॉर 10 years 12 years तक प्रीमियम मिल रहा है. सो यू से कि नहीं ये पॉलिसी पे 12 साल तक प्रॉफिट मतलब इनफ्लोज आ रहे हैं, फिर 13th ईयर पे डेथ हो गया एंड ऑल ऑफ अ सडन एक बड़ा आउटफ्लो. सो यू कैन से लॉस और प्रॉफिट बेस्ड ऑन दैट, and all the losses and profits need to be reported on a quarterly basis since as demanded by the stock exchange and regulators. So how does these insurance companies report it? So everything that we'll look at in this level or in this exam would be from the accounting standpoint. How a company raises finance, what's the cost of capital required to meet the expectations of shareholders, the growth rates, equity financing, debt financing, how to issue dividends, dividend issuing ka policy, taxation, how a company can reduce its taxes, how it can transfer price if a company is there in multiple global locations कि अलग अलग countries में present है, then how the accounting standards would behave कि foreign country में profit हुआ so वहां से profit let's say Indian company में लेके आना है. Let's say take an example of TCS है और बाकी बाकी सारे Indian companies है, वो foreign में भी they are there, they have their subsidiaries in foreign. So foreign में let's say $1 lakh का profit हुआ and now it wants to bring that profit to Indian TCS. So how would that transfer happen? किधर कितना taxes pay होगा? Basically all those accounting related stuff which we look at, which we have not looked at in the earlier papers. Earlier papers में हम लोग सिर्फ calculations और ये सब करते हैं. In papers like CB2 we look at economics, and आगे जाके papers में we look at different case study based questions. So this paper is there so that we as actuaries also have an accounting background and accounting knowledge of what we do. See, we are not CAs or we are not any other, we are not doing any other course related to CA, so we are not expected to have much accounting background. But this paper ensures that कि तुम जो companies में you are working, you should have enough accounting background on how everything goes around in that company. This paper ensures that you have those people. A little bit about myself. My name is Sunny Savla. I have done my bachelor's in financial markets from HR College of Commerce and Economics. Qualifications wise, I'm a qualified FRM, having cleared both the levels of FRM, and I have cleared 12 papers of Actuarial Science. Considering the previous syllabus, there were 15 papers. So according to that 15 papers, I have cleared 12 papers. I'm currently working as a consultant at Deloitte India, having experience in market risk, credit risk domain, and financial risk management for banks and other financial institutions since the last 1.5 years. At Actuarial Academy, I teach the following subjects: CB1, CB2, and CP1. You can see and watch my reviews at Instagram, LinkedIn, or any of our social media pages about CB2, which I have taught in the past batch. This attempt, I'm also starting to teach with CB1 and CP1. So as you can see that by the levels that I teach, they are mostly theory-based levels, and I focus on conceptual theory-based knowledge and giving those knowledge to you guys. All the other mathematical based levels are taught by other professors. How the CB1 would go about. So for CB1, since for every actual paper, we follow the acted given course notes and we consider that as our Bible. So this would be there. There is nothing different in CB1. In CB1 as well, what all the acted specified notes would be considered as of main importance. Also, we would be giving you revision notes and flashcards for your easy reference. Flashcards are prepared again. This all three things are from Acted. They are provided by Acted only, and they help you solve your papers. Probably you might have even looked at these in your previous CS CM papers. सारे ही levels में these three study materials are present. Um, Talking about the study notes, so these are some of the study notes that would be prepared by me and that would be given to you by the Actuarial Academy. So here the source is ours. It would be prepared. It would be a concise summary of your course notes, of your revision notes, of your past papers. Sabka summarized version would be our study notes. So you yourself don't have to sit and make those notes like you might be doing in the other papers, CS, CM papers में कैसे तुम definitions, formulae वगैरह वगैरह you might be making notes. Here you would get everything ready in one place. You don't have to sit yourself and make the notes, and thereby you end up saving time. So this is what provide the notes and other materials from Acted. This is how the overall CB1 uh, the study structure, basically the books and everything that you have to refer to looks like. Starting with some of the chapters of CB1, I won't definitely go into a chapter till now. Chapter wise, we'll start. We have already started our batches from 15th of October, and chapter wise lectures would be recorded or live lectures would be conducted and sent to you post tomorrow. So this is how we'll be starting our batches. Here I'm just mentioning the details of each and every chapter that are there just so that you can get an idea. As you can see towards the right hand side, there's a column for expected completion. So these are our conservative targets for completion of this portion. Some of you or most of you probably might be appearing CB1, this paper, along with some other paper. You might be combining it with CS or CM papers, and that is fair enough. Normally, everyone who appears CB1 does combine it with some other paper as well, some bigger paper like CS, CM. Let's say if you have attempted any paper like CS or CM paper this September attempt, you are not sure whether you will pass that paper or not. And let's say due to some unfortunate reason, due to some unfortunate luck, you are not able to clear whichever paper you are given in September. CB1 is the right paper to combine it with the other paper. Let's say तुमने just taking an example, you gave CS2 this September attempt. December में unfortunately due to some luck reason एक या दो marks से you end up failing that paper. You can continue with CB1 and April May CS2 and CB1 you can combine and give it together because CS2 you already know, you have studied. So CS2 को study करने में तुम्हें बहुत कम time लगेगा and CB1 is a theory subject and comparative compared to CS2, CM2 and those heavier papers, theory subjects are a little bit lighter, and we would ensure that your portion gets completed very early so that you can focus on your other paper as well, and you can give both papers together this time. So the April attempt is of 6 months. You have October, November, December, Jan, Feb, March for the whole preparation compared to the September attempt, which just has 4 months. The September attempt is shorter compared to this April attempt. So this is the right time for you to combine, let's say CB1 होने दो या CB2 होने दो papers together and give it. Now, just continuing with the similar example, you gave CS2 paper this September attempt. December में you clear CS2 clear हो गया. And now सिर्फ CB1 बचा. So what you can do is in December you can join, you can enroll for CB2 as well. या तो कोई दूसरा पेपर, लेट्स से तुम्हारा CM2 बाकी है तो दिसंबर में तुम CM2 भी एनरोल कर सकते हो विद अस एंड ट्राई टू गिव बोथ पेपर्स टुगेदर इन अप्रैल. अगर CM2 अप्रैल में नहीं होता है, यू कैन स्टिल स्टार्ट विद दिसंबर. दिसंबर से तुम्हारा पोर्शन अर्ली में चालू हो जाएगा एंड टिल द नेक्स्ट September you are very much clear with CM2, and then in September, which is a shorter attempt, you can easily give CM2 and clear it in the long attempt. So like I mentioned, combine CB1 with some other paper and give two papers this attempt. That would ensure you get the maximum out of this attempt and you end up clearing at least two papers this attempt. So this is our plan. These are the chapters that we are looking at: business ownership, taxation, key principles of corporate governance, issue of shares, like I mentioned, long-term finance, issue of shares, short-term and medium-term finance, sources of finance, a little bit on derivatives and introduction to accounts. Some of the syllabus bit, we are looking at everything from the accounting standpoint for all the companies. Companies wise, it's not like the insurance-based paper hai, या risk management-based paper hai. All these things, whatever we are looking at, से taxation देख रहे हैं हम लोग या issue of shares ये देख रहे हैं, all these things from every company point of view, कि वो कंपनी गवर्नमेंट कंपनी होने दो, वो कंपनी एक बिग लार्ज साइज कंपनी होने दो, या तो स्टार्टअप होने दो, या तो जनरल इंश्योरेंस, लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, पेंशंस कंपनी, बैंक्स, whatever. We are looking from all the companies point of view. Even let's say some perspectives like short term, medium term finance and alternative sources of finance, we will be looking from individual standpoint as well. As an individual, तुम्हें finance चाहिए, so what are the options available to you? How will you ensure you will get the best finance at the best rate at the best time? So all those things would be there and covered in chapters. Moving on to the next part of the syllabus, this includes the main accounts, a little bit on how your balance sheet looks like, your P&L, your ledger looks like. Chapter 9 and 10 are based on a little bit more towards accounting background, then depreciation and reserves and construction accounts. Chapter number 9, 10, 11, and 12 are what you, if you are from an accounting background, this is what you have or you might have studied in your 11th and 12th. And if you are from if you are doing BCom, so BCom may be currently 9, 10, 11, 12 में तुम्हें थोड़ा सा background रहेगा. But again, since we are Acted is UK based and IFOA is UK based, some of the methods of constructing accounts would be slightly different from what we study in India. थोड़ा सा difference, इतना difference नहीं आएगा, and I'll ensure कि वो सब properly cover हो जाए. Exam में they won't ask you to draw पूरा account because since it's a word based exam, but you have to be prepared with an Excel. कि अगर Excel पे भी पूछे accounts बनाने को, so you can just completely prepare that table, whichever table, balance sheet or P&L or ledger they are asking, and then paste it in Word. So that questions do come very, very frequently, but we'll ensure हम लोग उसका भी practice कर ले. Then we'll look at the main thing, which is group and insurance company accounts. How does the insurance company carry the account? And chapter 14, very important chapter, looking at interpretation of accounts. कि accounts का तुम्हारे पास balance sheet है, you have the P&L, you have the ledger, you have the cash flows. Now what to interpret? Looking at the accounts, looking at the balance sheet, balance sheet में देख लिया कि हाँ profit is 5 crores. Okay, I'm happy, 5 crores तो बहुत है. But वो company ने last year 100 crores का profit बनाया था. Now it's 5 crores. It's not a good balance sheet then. So how to interpret the accounts? Looking at the different ratios. कि नहीं profit भले 10 crore है, लेकिन cash ही नहीं है. Cash in hand is zero. Let's say कल उठ के कोई खर्चा आया, so company will not survive. It has to sell its assets. So we'll look at different accounting ratios, the term you might have heard it previously, accounting ratios in this interpretation of accounts bit. And this is limitations of accounts, alternative reporting standards, IFRS 9 standards, will be covering it. Moving on to the next part of the syllabus, evaluation of working capital, management information. So this is part 1 and part 2. Like capital appraisal में कैसे है part 1 and part 2. Likewise, then WACC, weighted average cost of capital, capital structure and dividend policies, and capital project appraisal. So project appraisal in the sense deciding on which project to choose. This you might have come across in CM1 as well, calculating NPV, IRR and other metrics to decide कि कौन सा project choose करना चाहिए. उसके cash flows देख के, उसके various other factors देख के, whether to select or reject a particular project. So this is how the whole portion looks like. I'm not going into each chapter to open information. Everything will cover in our main lectures. This is just how the whole index of CB1 looks like. This is a copy of that index. As you can see, expected completion of everything is 28th of February, which is almost 1.5 months prior to your exam, giving you sufficient time for preparation, sufficient time for revision, doubt solving, sufficient time to write enough papers, solve enough papers, sufficient time for mock tests and everything. And again, this is a conservative base. Let's say if you are planning to give some other heavy paper along with CB1, then we can ensure that your portion gets completed a little bit earlier than that. See, there might be three types of students. some category 1 of students giving let's say CS CM paper, कोई एक heavy paper दे रहे हैं along with CB1, and they ask and tell me to complete the portion a little bit earlier, कि let's say first Feb तक उनको पोर्शन खत्म करना है. So I'll ensure कि वो set of students जो category 1 वाले हैं उनका पोर्शन first Feb तक complete हो जाए. Because from my end, my lectures, my mock tests, my doubt solving areas would be ready. So I can share across with such students every lecture and everything a bit earlier. We can conduct live lectures earlier so that their portion is completed by first Feb. Second category of students would be normal. They'll be with the batch के साथ चलेंगे. I would like the students to be with the batch because everyone in the batch is doing the same thing. So you stay with the flow and complete your portion by 28th of Feb only. Third set of students, they might be working, or let's say they might have college exams or any other thing because of which unka portion bit late khatam ho raha hai, they are lagging behind. So I'll ensure कि वो भले lag कर रहे हैं, उनके doubt solvings वगैरह जो भी है, they get the recorded lectures. Even I'll sit with them 1-to-1 and ensure that they do not lag. But some students always lag and उनका portion खत्म हो के भी will ensure कि 15 March तक खत्म हो जाए. So even if you are in the category 3, which is the late delayed category, उनका portion भी 1 month advance में खत्म हो जाएगा, which is very well ahead of all the other students. See, every year 1,000 and more than 1,000 students appear for CB1. If you are completing a portion 1 month in advance, you are very well ahead of all the other students, giving you a very high chances of clearing this paper in the first attempt. So this is our plan for the April 2023 exams. Now, what makes CB1 a little bit more different? The first thing, like I mentioned, whatever you have learned in your other papers, now we will look at accounting side of it. कि insurance company accounts कैसे करता है, general insurance company accounts कैसे करता है, banks कैसे accounting करते हैं. We'll look at the accounting point of everything. कि losses हुआ, reserves किया. So what's the accounting effect of it? Everything that you have learned in actuaries till date, we'll look at the accounting side of it. That is CB1. There'll be some questions, case study based questions आएंगे, new questions होंगे वो case study based की. They can create a new startup, XYZ startup नया create कर लिया, question में आ गया, उसके cash flows कैसे होंगे, how will it raise finance, how will it convince to raise finance. Now, simple example, you might have heard of company named Cred, credit card payments app है. So ऐसा ही कोई, they not name anything, but ऐसे ही XYZ का company, they'll just mention कि हाँ ये company है, now it wants to raise finance, it wants to get the source of earning. अभी तुम सोचो, how does Cred make money, right? You don't know how does Cred make money. There are different ways it makes money through advertisements and various other things. But likewise, what exam में question can come is they can create any sort of नया type of startup and ask us कि इसको अभी capital चाहिए, इसको अभी financing चाहिए. How would you raise finance? So first you need to be identify कि how the company will make money, find the different sources of money, and then find different sources in which you can raise finance. You see, नया company है, equity finance तो मिलेगा नहीं, equity पे तुम list नहीं कर सकते company को, bank तुम्हें loan नहीं देगा because you are a risky company. So what are the other sources of finance you can get? So all these would be new case-based questions in every paper, which we will look at, which we'll discuss, which we'll cover. We'll try to cover as many different ideas and cases as well in our lectures and in our mock tests. Moving on, ability to understand diagrams means ability to understand your accounting, not diagrams, accounting statements, accounting balance sheets or tables, tabular data, basically, not diagrams, tabular data, and solve MCQs. So CB1 also has MCQs. So solving MCQs is a skill that you will require. It is not present in CSCM papers, but it's there here. And typing speed and paper completion, like every other paper, matters a lot in CB1. If you have any doubts, you can stop me now itself and ask it, or we can clear your doubts at the end of the session as well. Or you can even reach out to me personally for any doubts on WhatsApp or on call, and we can discuss this. So exam pattern. Look at the exam pattern. CB1 has 10 MCQ questions. Then there'll be theory questions ranging from 3 to 5 marks, 3 to 7 marks, roughly. And there'll be large questions of 10 marks, 15 marks sometimes at the end. So that is how the whole exam pattern is. I'm not stressing much on the exam pattern because IFOA has come up with a new objective based pattern which will be there for CB1 and CB2. So there the whole paper would be in a bit of a worksheet format कि MCQs थोड़े ज्यादा हो जाएंगे, काइंड ऑफ फिल इन द ब्लैंक्स टाइप, काइंड ऑफ शॉर्ट आंसर्स, मतलब एकदम 10 मार्क 15 मार्क के आंसर्स नहीं होंगे. इट विल बी ब्रोकन डाउन इनटू डिफरेंट केसेस. Let's say they'll give you a snapshot as like a picture of a balance sheet as just a tabular structure, and uske basis pe se you have to do some calculations, compute some financial ratios, all those things. So it will more or less be a worksheet format. Again, IFO has just published it once. They are not completely sure of it, and they have not published any other proper paper or a systematic set of rules or a paper pattern. So again, you don't need to worry about that. Our portion remains the same. Just the exam pattern, paper style, exam paper kaise banta hai, that might change. So our preparation till February end will remain the same. Usme there won't be any change. March में जब we start solving mock tests and mock papers, then it would change. अगर paper pattern अलग है, so तुम past paper solve करोगे, that won't make sense. IFOA say we will order new mock sets and I'll prepare a new separate papers from my end, यही format में, यही style में, so that you can solve 3-4 papers in those similar pattern approach. Okay, so but our main overall study pattern, learning pattern won't change because the portion has not changed. If 3 or 5 minutes may how to write the paper, how to complete the paper in time, that would change because pattern is changing. So that's the only thing a little bit concerned about. If I'm not stressing here on the exam pattern, because this exam pattern that I have written is there previously. It's being followed in the last 5-10 years. 2019 ke baad same pattern tha continuously for 3 years. But now since they are planning to change, there are chances that we will have a look at some new different pattern. But don't worry, even IFOA will publish sample papers, will buy new updated mock tests from it, and I'll create one or two of my own papers in this particular format so that you get enough practice in the new format as well. Now, our roadmap for the April exams. So the exam date of CB1 is 20th April. It will be in April. So our portion completion is roughly, even for students who have a bit of a delay, कि थोड़ा late हो गया है, उनके लिए भी it's still mid-March. For everyone else, for all the students, it's 20th of February. But let's say for category 3 students, because of some issues, personal issues or whatever, they are delayed in their portion, I'll still ensure that every one of you completes their portion by mid-March at least, giving you at least 1 month of your time for all the revision, all the mock tests and other preparations. This would include mid-March tak ka portion would include chapter-wise tests. So some chapters might be difficult and would have higher weightage. In that case, the chapter-wise test would be of one chapter only. Some chapters might be easy and I can combine those. So usme 1, 2, 3 chapters combined ka test. Like that tests would be taken. So it would be 1 hour test and only on weekends so that every one of you can attend, and it neither clashes with your school, college, or it neither clashes with your any other tuitions or your work as well. So our lectures would be on Saturday and Sunday mostly. So yeah, this is our plan for our April exam, and post our portion, there'll be mock tests. We are planning to conduct 3 mock tests, 2 from IFOA officially, and 1 paper being prepared by me. If the pattern remains same, you can also solve 2022 and 21K papers and give it to me. I'll check and come back with you on feedback. We can then have one-on-one short Zoom lectures on that feedback. How did your paper go, where you are lagging, MCQs में difficulty हो रहा है, या let's say accounting questions में difficulty हो रहा है, solving, there are numerical based questions as well, like I mentioned, accounting questions, ratio computation, so all those are number based questions, so उसमें issue हो रहा है कि theory में issue हो रहा है. Every student will have some of his her different strengths and weakness. We can discuss it 1-to-1 and ensure that those are covered and the weaknesses are removed as soon as possible. For other papers, other levels, the batch sizes are higher. For CB1, I'm expecting the batch size should be around 5 to 6 max people, like a shorter or a smaller batch, giving me enough time to focus on each one of you personally and give personal attention. Let's say if someone is lagging, I can personally pay attention to him or her and ensure that he or she properly covers the portion well in time. So a shorter batch would ensure that our discussions, after all mock tests, when we discuss our papers, when we have those Zoom calls, it would ensure that everyone is participating and we get to learn from each other's ideas. Big batches में वो सारे difficulties होते हैं. This smaller batches will ensure that proper attention will be given to you individually. I'll be connecting with you every week, at least once a week or at least once in 2 weeks. In that case, on how you are performing, are you liking the lectures or not? Are you facing any trouble? Are you facing any doubts? And that personal calls would ensure that every one of you is on track in this CB1 exam. So just the last thing on why Actuarial Academy. So why us? So just along with CB1C, for CB1 you would be getting 3 modes of teaching, which is offline, online, and pre-recorded. So depending on the batch, if the batch insists, if everyone in the batch is insisting on conducting the lectures offline, if you want offline lectures, we have a facility in Mumbai, in Matunga, where we can conduct offline lectures as well for, let's say, some difficult chapters, ratio based chapters hai, calculation based chapters hai. Usme if you require offline lectures, we are completely flexible to conduct offline lectures as well. And let's say if you are not based in Mumbai, if you are based out of Mumbai, not an issue. Every lecture would be recorded and pre-recorded, so that even if you miss, let's say, a doubt solving or a mock test, you can appear it later at your own convenience. So you are not missing out on anything. Online and pre-recorded lectures would be available. For some easier chapters, I would send you recorded lectures so you can watch it on your own time. On some difficult chapters, we would be having live lectures on Zoom on weekends, so that on weekends you have enough time to attend those lectures. These are the 3 modes of teaching that would be preferred in the CB1 class. Like I already mentioned, portion would be completed almost 1 month prior. Since we already have 6 months, we are starting October. We are starting very early for CB1. We have almost 6 months till March, and we'll ensure that our portion completes well in advance. We have enough time for revision, preparation, practice, and everything. Extensive training sessions, making your accounting concepts very clear. Regular doubt solving sessions. So doubt solving sessions could be done after you solve, let's say, your practice questions, after you solve your X series, after you solve your mock test. After the mock test is done, after I check your mock test, a small half an hour or 1 hour Zoom session would be conducted to discuss your answers, to discuss your ideas and opinions. Some other student might have written some different points. So you can see his or her points and get ideas कि नहीं, how did he approach to that question, कि उसने कैसे solve किया, मैं भी अभी next time से ये approach से solve करूंगा और करूंगी. So you can get ideas and help from other students as well in such sessions. So doubt solving sessions would be conducted for mock tests, for chapters. Even if you have any other personal doubt, we can have a short Zoom session or a short call as well. And also post solving your revision notes. The revision notes solve हो गए, past papers के revision notes, उसमें तुम्हें doubts है, so उसके लिए भी doubt solving sessions will be conducted on the ends, on Saturdays and Sundays. Again, if the batch demands us to conduct weekday sessions, the weekday पे अगर सब free है, available है, so we can conduct weekday sessions as well, very early, 7-8 a.m. or little bit later in the night, again 7 p.m. or 8-9 p.m. as well, depending on the convenience of the batch. Like I mentioned, batch में 5-6 जन, I'm planning to have a batch size of 5 to 6 people. So I'll have a proper flexibility. सबके timing के हिसाब से I would be able to schedule the lecture and set up my batch timings. There'll be chapter-wise tests, chapter-wise mock exams, and other conceptual tests as well. So like I mentioned, chapter-wise tests for very difficult chapters, थोड़े easy chapters है तो उसमें we can combine 2-3 chapters up and then उसका test ले सकते हैं. But ensure that हर weekend पे कोई ना कोई test होगा. Blend of theoretical knowledge or theoretical concepts with practical knowledge. I'll ensure कि practical real world में भी क्या चल रहा है. So now just September got over, we are in October. So जो जुलाई अगस्त सितंबर का क्वार्टर होता है that got over, and वो क्वार्टर के रिजल्ट्स would start, सारे कंपनीज के रिजल्ट्स are not other results, financial results would start coming from October onwards. Economic Times में, नॉर्मल मनी कंट्रोल में, सारे कंपनीज के मतलब दे पब्लिश द रिजल्ट्स, एंड रिजल्ट्स के ऊपर डिटेल्स होती है कि प्रॉफिट इतना ग्रो हुआ, एबिटा इतना ग्रो हुआ, ये फॉल हुआ, ये ग्रो हुआ, ऑल दोस थिंग्स. So we'll look at even real life results, real life balance sheets as well. So you get enough practical knowledge along with your theory knowledge. Along with this, so these points that I'm tipped, these are all related to CB1 ka preparation and everything. These two other points are the additional perks or the additional benefits of joining CB1, like of joining us at Actuarial Academy. So at Actuarial Academy, we are in business since the past more than 2 years. We have around 50 to 100, roughly 75 to 80 students who have studied with us till date, and they are working currently in different areas like insurance, health insurance, life insurance, general insurance, even in consultancy firms like Deloitte, KPMG, and various other domains. Even me, myself, and Viraj, we are actuaries. We are doing actuaries since the last 5 years. We have a lot of other friends, colleagues who are working in different industries and fields. So we can help you in getting internships. We can help you in getting full-time place at any other company that you require, and we can ensure that तुम्हारा interview preparation भी हम कराएं, so that you can end up getting a good job or a good placement. So that is the benefit you will get in joining Actuarial Academy. So along with CB1 ka benefits and studying, this is the extra thing that we provide. These are mine and Viraj's contact numbers. You can reach out to us, and that concludes our CB1 Business Finance orientation session. If you have any doubts, now is the time to speak up, or you can also reach out to me personally on WhatsApp or phone. Yeah, so I guess I can conclude that there are no there are no doubts. So thanks a lot for watching this session, and thanks a lot for attending this orientation. Like mentioned, if you have any doubts, you can reach out to me. Thank you very much.